If you wake up and reach for your phone before you even open your eyes properly, if your mind is already racing through your to-do list before your feet touch the floor, you already know how the rest of the day tends to go. Rushed, foggy, a little bit anxious, even when nothing's actually wrong yet. Here's the thing. It's not that you're bad at mornings, it's that your nervous system never got the chance to wake up gently before the day started demanding things from it. And when that happens morning after morning, your body quietly holds on to that stress. Cortisol stays elevated longer than it should. Focus gets harder to find by midday, and over months, that pattern can lead to real fatigue and a kind of low-grade tension that never fully switches off. In this video, we're going to look at why the modern, efficient morning, phone, email, rushing out the door, actually works against your biology, and I'll walk you through a quiet, zero-cost morning flow, inspired by a Japanese approach to the start of the day that helps your nervous system settle before it has to perform. No apps, no gear, nothing to buy, just a different order of operations. Chapter 1. The Illusion of High-Effort Morning Optimization. There's a very popular idea of what a good morning looks like. Alarm goes off, you're up immediately, phone checked, emails scanned, a workout maybe. A to-do list you reviewed before breakfast is even in front of you. It feels productive. It feels like you're getting ahead of the day, instead of the day getting ahead of you. But think about what's actually happening physically in those first few minutes. You're pulling your brain from a slow, low arousal state straight into high alert. Notifications, decisions, other people's demands, before your own nervous system has even finished switching on. It's a bit like flooring the gas pedal the moment you turn the engine on cold. This is where the Western high-effort model quietly backfires. The more you try to optimize the first minutes of your day with input and stimulation, the more your body interprets that as an emergency, not a beginning. Cortisol, which is already naturally rising in the morning, gets an extra spike from all that input. And ironically, the harder you push to feel sharp and in control early on, the more scattered and reactive you often feel by mid-morning. The effort isn't the problem. The timing of it is. Chapter 2. The Core Biological Mechanism. To understand why this happens, it helps to know what your body is actually doing in that first hour after you wake up. Cortisol, often labeled the stress hormone, though it's really more of an alertness hormone, naturally peaks not the second you open your eyes, but gradually over the following 30 to 45 minutes. This is sometimes called the cortisol awakening response, and it's your body's built-in way of gently ramping up energy and focus for the day. The problem is, if you flood your senses with bright screen light, urgent messages, and decision-making right at the start, you're adding an artificial spike on top of a natural one. Your autonomic nervous system, the part of you running quietly in the background, managing heart rate, breathing, digestion, gets pulled toward its alert branch before it's had any time in its calmer rest and digest branch at all. Think of it like a glass being filled. Your body already has a little morning stress in the glass, just from waking up. Add scrolling, rushing, and noise on top, and the glass overflows quickly and stays overflowing for hours. So here's a question worth sitting with for a moment. In your current morning, what is the very first thing that touches your senses? Is it light? Is it a screen? Is it your own breath? That one detail shapes more of your day than most people realize. Chapter, the Japanese philosophy of asa no shizukesa. In Japan, there's a quiet cultural instinct around this called asa no shizukesa, the stillness or calm of the morning. It's not a formal ritual with strict rules. It's more of a shared understanding that the early part of the day is meant to be met gently, not seized. Alongside it sits the idea of ichinichi no hajime, the beginning of the day, treated less like a starting gun, and more like an opening scene that deserves a slow entrance. You'll notice this reflected in small physical habits, the quiet folding of a futon, the sound of water being boiled for tea, a few minutes spent simply looking outside before anything else begins. None of it demands effort or money. It asks for restraint instead. Sexy-meist and circadian rhythm, researchers have long observed that how the body transitions out of sleep affects hormone regulation, mood, and alertness for hours afterward. Some sleep physiologists describe this transitional window as having outsized influence on the rest of the day's stress response, even though it lasts only a matter of minutes. Asa no shizukesa, in a way, is simply an old cultural practice that lines up with what modern sleep science quietly confirms, not through discipline, through unhurried presence. Chapter 4, the 90-minute physical rule. So, let's make this practical. Here's the core rule. For the first 90 minutes after waking, your only job is to keep your nervous system in a low stimulation state while it finishes its natural transition. Physically, that starts with light, but real light, not screen light. Within the first few minutes of waking, try opening a curtain or stepping near a window. Natural light hitting your eyes helps regulate your circadian rhythm and gently signals to your brain that morning has genuinely begun, without any artificial spike. Next, delay decision-making. Not indefinitely, just for a little while. That means no email, no news, no scrolling through anything that asks something of you. Let your first movements be simple and physical. Stretching, drinking water, making your bed. Nothing that requires a decision beyond the movement itself. To summarize the biology so far, your cortisol is already rising naturally after waking. Your autonomic nervous system needs time to shift out of its overnight rest state, and every extra stimulus you add early on either supports that natural process or fights against it. The 90-minute rule isn't about being slow for the sake of it. It's about letting your own biology catch up before you ask anything of it. Chapter 5, sensory and environmental anchors. Once the basic timing is in place, the next layer is your environment. The things you see, touch, and smell in that first hour. These aren't decorative details. They're signals your nervous system reads before your conscious mind even catches up. Light is the first anchor, as we mentioned, but texture matters too. Something as small as feeling a warm mug in your hands, or the cool surface of a wooden floor under bare feet gives your body a grounding physical cue. Proof that you're here, present, safe, rather than already somewhere else mentally. In your inbox, scent plays a quiet role as well. The smell of steeping tea, or simply fresh air from an open window, can lower the sense of alertness your body associates with threat or urgency. Replacing it with something closer to ease. Picture someone waking up in a slightly cluttered room, phone glowing on the nightstand, blinds still shut. Now picture that same person waking to a made bed from the night before, curtains cracked open, a kettle quietly starting. Nothing else about their morning changed. Same job, same stress, same responsibilities waiting later. But the nervous system entering that second scene starts from a completely different baseline. That's the quiet power of environmental anchors. They cost nothing, and they don't ask for willpower. They simply remove friction before it has a chance to build. Chapter 6. Eliminating the invisible stimulants. Now let's talk about what to stop doing, because this part matters just as much as what you add in. The biggest one, and you likely already sensed it, reaching for your phone within the first few minutes of waking. Notifications, messages, even a quick weather check all pull your attention outward toward other people's timelines and demands before your own morning has had a chance to settle. Each glance triggers a small dopamine and cortisol response, training your brain to associate waking up with urgency over time, forcing yourself to feel alert and productive. The moment you open your eyes has a similar hidden cost. It might sound strange, but trying to force a feeling of readiness before your body is actually ready doesn't create calm confidence. It creates a subtle background anxiety instead. Your nervous system learns that mornings are something to brace for, not settle into. Over weeks, this can quietly wire the brain toward morning dread rather than morning ease, even if nothing about the day itself has changed. This is where the Western high-effort instinct shows up again, the belief that forcing productivity early proves discipline. But your biology doesn't experience force as discipline. It experiences it as threat. The Eastern alignment approach isn't about being less driven. It's about letting drive show up after the nervous system is actually ready to carry it, rather than demanding it show up first. Chapter 7. The 8-minute zero-cost daily flow. Let's bring everything together into something simple you can actually follow tomorrow morning. Mine 1. Before reaching for anything, just breathe for a moment where you are, eyes open, no screen in sight. Minutes 2 and 3. Get to natural light. Open a curtain, step near a window, or step outside if you can. Let your eyes take in real daylight. Minutes 4 and 5. Hydrate and move gently. A glass of water, a slow stretch, or simply making your bed. Nothing effortful, just physical and slow. Minutes 6 and 7. Engage one sensory anchor. No coffee in your hands. A so cracked for fresh air. A tidy surface in front of you. Let your senses, not your to-do list, lead for a moment. Min 8. Only now, if needed, glance at your phone, with intention, not reflex. By this point, your nervous system has already had its 90-second head start, and whatever comes next, you're meeting it from a steadier place. That's it. 8 minutes, no app, no purchase, nothing to track. Just a different order to habits you likely already have. At the end of the day, this isn't about becoming a slower or less capable version of yourself. It's about letting your body finish its own quiet process before the world asks something of it. Aligning with that rhythm, rather than fighting against it, tends to give you back far more focus and calm than rushing ever did. If this way of thinking about mornings resonated with you, subscribing and giving this a like genuinely helps more people find a simpler way to start their day. And if you'd like to go further, we're opening a free waiting list soon for a small wellness challenge built around habits just like this one. I'll leave the details for that below. Thank you for spending this quiet moment with me. I'll see you in the next one.